Okay. Okay guys, we're doing our ball bridge with adduction. This is for people who have really been not working out for a really long time. An overhead squat assessment, I told you that your knees go out. So a lot of this stuff is going to start to incorporate some of the internal obliques as well as the adductor and groin complex to help bring those legs closer together for every heel strike in what you were doing. So anything that is about 2 fist width apart, I generally use this. It's like a yoga block and the second widest setting, but you can use a foam roller if you have that. You can use a Nalgene bottle if you have that. Anything that is going to allow you to have to focus on squeezing that isn't something that's very large. Like I said, it needs to be about the width of those 2 fists. So what you're going to do is you're going to get into your bridge position. So you're going to roll down until your shoulders and your head rest comfortably on the ball. You're going to put this in between the knees, feet directly underneath the knees, shoulders and head relaxed. You're going to drop down, draw in. As soon as you draw in, tuck the hips underneath and squeeze the butt to come up. If you feel any lower back, you know that you didn't tuck all the way or you're not using your abs. So drop back down, tuck underneath, and squeeze to come up. So the whole time you're just holding that yoga block or that Nalgene water bottle to help activate those adductors the same time you're activating the glutes. So some of the things you want to look out for, like I said, is arching the back the whole time. You'll feel the back. If you start pushing, you'll feel the hamstrings or the quads. So really focus on not letting that ball move at all. Just dropping it down, tucking underneath, and squeezing straight up. Now you're going to do these until you start feeling your glutes. Sometimes it's easier to actually push them a little bit to help isolate what they are and where they are. As soon as you start to feel that burn, you're going to do about 5 more reps. And then you're good to move on to the next exercise. Next exercise is actually the crunch with adduction. So make sure you're squeezing the butt up, exhale all the way, and then you're coming up. Notice the butt is touching the ball, the lower back is supported by the ball. You're doing it nice and slow because when you do it with speed, that's where cheating comes into play, and you're not actually going to isolate these muscles that we really need to turn on to fix those imbalances. For the integrated workout, we're going to do a ball wall squat with adduction. Same thing, right above the knees. So you have the 2 fist width. Make sure the outside of the feet are pointing straight ahead in parallel lines. A lot of times what people think is parallel is the inside of the feet, but then that's actually having your toes turn out. So look at the outside of those shoes. Make sure that it's straight and parallel. Balls resting on the lower back, just touching the butt. You're going to push your butt back the exact same way you did those bridges, then squeeze it forward and tuck it at the top. Then you're going to push it back, hold for a 2 count at the bottom, squeeze it forward, and tuck at the top. Okay, so the last exercise that we're going to do for helping activate the adductor complex, for those of you who have the knees that bow out in your overhead squat, is going to be a single leg touchdown. The key points of this to remember is that your back should never be doing the reaching. The only joints that are moving is going to be your hips and your knees and your ankles. So from the side, you're going to balance on 1 foot. Exact same thing as a bridge, but you're doing it standing. You're going to pull your stomach in, push your butt out behind you. As you do that, you're going to bend that knee to get as low as you can to touch the outside of that foot. then drive through that heel, squeeze the butt forward, and come to a standing position. What you want is that knee to be wiggling this way, this way, this way. That's going to be what actually wakes up that adductor complex to bring that knee in. It's going to feel very hard. It's going to feel like a balancing exercise, and you're going to be like, I don't understand why this is important, but it's really important for those muscles to engage when you're on a single leg and not just standing on 2 feet. Side angle of this. You have that balance, draw in, push the butt back, bend at the knee, touch here. What I don't want to see is this to get down there. As soon as you lose the back, you lose all of the core stability, and it's no longer an integrated core workout as well. So make sure chest up, stomach in, butt squeezed, butt back, come down, touch, drive back up, tuck the hips at the top.